Hey, what's going on, guys? Markel here, back with another video, and today I have the unboxing of the Moto G200 5G cell phone. It's in this it's like a bluish grayish color. I just wanted to show you guys this bundle to start off with, though. All of this came together for about 518 bucks. So you get this smartwatch, which is the K6 smartwatch band. I haven't unboxed any of these two. I've unboxed this already. I just put it back in this box to show you everything that came with it. But and then also you get this headphones that came with it. They're over-the-ear headphones, or excuse me, these are over-the-ear headphones. The MXT220. Never heard of them. Curious to know how they work, and we'll unbox that in a second. But let's start with the phone. So in the box, you get the phone, and then you get another box here, which is a cable. It's an HDMI cable to hook to a TV or a monitor, and you can play games, video calls, all kinds of things. So this comes with the phone itself. And then we have the phone itself, and this is a 6.8-inch cell phone from Motorola. It does come with the case included. The biggest features about this device will be the Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 Plus, the 108 megapixel rear camera, and it does shoot 8K, but I'll get a little bit more into that as to why people don't talk about the 8K. And it has a really high refresh rate of 144 hertz. So you do get a charging cable, type A to type C, that's pretty standard. And the charging brick itself is a 33-watt charger. Except for the literature, I'll show you guys that real quick. Something I'm never gonna read and use is the literature that comes with it. That kind of explains things, but yeah, I'm never gonna do anything with that. So these are Motorola's. They're wireless over-ear headphones. Don't see anything about them being noise canceling. Let's see, 24-hour playtime, 40mm drivers, dynamic sound with powerful bass, great passive noise isolation. Okay, in other words, no noise cancellation. Okay, so now we got the box open. Got it upside down. Let's see, so we got some cables here on the bottom. So yeah, we get really thin type, no, this is micro USB to type A. So it's a micro USB. And then we get, the headphone jacks to plug in, okay. And then first impression of these, okay, very plasticky, okay, very light, very plasticky feel. They don't look bad at all. These are much lighter than my Apple AirPod Max. These cushions are pretty nice. Okay, they're not easily removable. Okay, it's not bad, not bad. Fake leather here at the top. It's same feeling as the fake leather here on the ear cups. You got your controls here at the bottom where you can plug in your headphone jack, micro USB, your volume controls. And then the last one we want to take a look at real quick is this watch. So you get this specific type of plug here for it. The two pins here that connect to these two pins on this little bitty watch. So it will just sit like that on the watch. But yeah, this is very small. And then you get the band to go with it. I guess you decide which way you want the band to go, right? If you're right hand or left hand, so you're just slipping this inside of this band. And that's pretty much it. You just take this little plastic piece off and you're ready to go, you know? Then at night, you can just take this, slip these two pins on, make sure they connect, or you slip this back out and stick the watch just on these pins. So all right, guys, I've had this phone now for a few days and I like it, I don't love it, okay? I'm pretty much going Apple all the way. The same with this watch and these headphones. they're decent, and the person I'm going to give it to are really going to like this setup. I'm just going to do a series on these devices for about a month to give you guys a real feel who are thinking about purchasing not just this device, but any Motorola device, which you get a real stock Android experience where you don't have all that bloatware. Now, this came from a carrier, which is Claro here, the local carrier, and all their bloatware I was able to disable. This phone actually reminds me of the Pixel, okay? The same way that you pull up the Pixel, the app drawer, you can go through and just customize everything on this device. Reminds me so much of the Pixel. Now, when it comes to the cameras, because more important to people is battery, camera, and processor. The front camera is the weakest part of this phone. It's 16 megapixels. It only records in 1080p at 30 frames per second. It does not give you the option to change. So you cannot change what you are recording. You don't get that option on the front. On the rear, you do get all the way up with the 108 megapixel main camera right here in the middle of 8K at 24 frames per second. However, 8K on this phone is horrible, and it has a really big punch. It punches in a lot, but it does suffer from rolling shutter, meaning when you move this phone, it warps so bad, and there's no image stabilization. When it comes to 8K, you're gonna need some type of gimbal or put it on a tripod. But this is why people don't talk about 8K on this phone. It is horrific. Trust me when I tell you. Now, when it comes to the battery life, there's a 5,000 milliamp battery in here. Now, for my usage, which I'm carrying this phone along with my iPhone. I do use my iPhone a lot more. I was able to get over 3 days on one charge. But again, that's going between two devices. I would say normally you'll probably get 2 days easily if you leave it on auto when it comes to the refresh rate. If you want the 144 hertz refresh rate on this device, you'll probably get a day with the battery use because it's gonna eat battery like no other. But having it on auto is gonna switch between 60 and 120 hertz. So, that's fine for me. If you're a gamer, okay, with the processor, the 888 Plus, you will have no problem at all with this device as a gamer. That's a flagship processor. So even though this is considered a mid-range phone at $518, it does have some flagship features, which would be the processor, the rear camera, and the high refresh rate. Everything else about this device, though, is mid-range. When it comes to the speaker, you only get one bottom firing speaker. There's no other speaker at the top. You just get the one microphone. Now, it's Motorola. So for those of you who are not familiar with Motorola, you still get the same Motorola features. The chop for the flashlight. Chop again, turns it off. The twist for the camera. Twist again. Oops. Doesn't want to do it for me. It switches over to the front, twist again, it switches over to the back. Okay, you do get all the other features that you can customize. I haven't touched this button on the camera, on the phone yet. This is a way to get to Google. Press it, Google comes up. Another way to get to Google is in the corners. You push up from either corner and you get Google as well. But this can be remapped. This power button here, which doubles the fingerprint reader, can be remapped to something else. And then when it comes to customizing, you got the way that Android customizes phones. You got the picture-in-picture. You got all that basic stuff. And I don't want to get into too much of the specs because there's probably a million videos on this phone already. So any of those, if you're a spec head, you can go check out any of those specs. I'm just trying to give you a real world perspective of someone who's using the device and using it daily now, because I'm gonna probably keep it for a month before I give it away and just do follow-ups and let you guys know how it's performing. So yesterday when we went out, I went out with some friends and took some photos, a little bit of video, and the video on the rear I really like. The photos from the rear camera, 108 megapixel, I really like. The portrait mode on this phone is decent. But when it comes to the front facing cameras, when you first get this device, I will tell you, on photos, you're gonna need to go into your settings, and I don't like that beauty mode. It comes on default when you first get this phone. I turned it off. The same way with your video settings, it comes at 1080p. So you would have to go in and switch it if you choose to, but I just wanted to show you guys that because you do get 8K and it's only at 24 frames per second. 4K you get at 30 and 60 frames per second, and full HD you get at I thought it was 24, but it's only 30 and 60, and that's on the rear. On the front, again, you only get 1080p at 30 frames per second. You cannot change that. Okay, now you do get a lot of features, even a pro feature on the main menu for the photos as well as the video. I'm sorry, on the photos you get a pro feature. On the video, you do not. But you get all of the standard, things that you get on every Android device, as you can see here. And of course, you can just customize it whichever way that you prefer. Now, this is not a full review of this device, but I'm just giving you some highlights and things that I've noticed so far from this device. And I'm gonna leave some photo and video in a little montage so you guys can see for yourself these photos. But other than that, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Please stick around and watch the montage. Until the next time, guys, I'm out. Peace.